Oh boy, this is just what I needed, guys. Hey Book Dragons, welcome back, or welcome to Bookish Chaz. And of course, I'm Chaz. And I have to tell you guys, I am one happy camper, or dragon. One happy dragon. I am going to be talking about a book that just absolutely made my year. And that book is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Now, before we get into the details, I want to make sure that you take the opportunity to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want to watch more of my videos, hit me up on my Discord if you want to join myself and other like-minded individuals in talking about books. And I think that about covers all the necessary details. We just need to talk about this book. So, I have seen this book talked about on numerous channels. So many people rave about it, and I've known for a long time that I needed to give this book a shot. Wasn't quite sure what to expect, even though I'd heard a lot about it. And I knew it was a self-published fantasy that eventually got picked up by a publisher. Travis Baldree is a very well-known audiobook narrator, especially for the Cradle series. And I believe he narrates the audiobook for Legends and Lattes as well. And so I was super excited to get to this, and I finally did. And guys, I was so happy. This is such a great book. It's one of those books that doesn't really require a whole lot of effort on the part of the reader. And I think that's a really good thing. So just to give you a little bit of an overview, there's not really a particular time period or world that it's set in necessarily. There's a name of a town that it's set in, and I kind of forget the name of the town right now, which is weird. But the main character of the story is Viv. She's an orc mercenary, and she's spent her whole adult life killing and doing odd mercenary jobs. She starts out the book hunting down this Scalver, which is kind of a spider type creature. And when she kills the Scalver, she cuts into the Scalver to take out its heart, which is this just large gemstone. And then she just gives up the mercenary trade in exchange for finding an easier, quieter, homey life. And I just absolutely love that. That whole premise just sings to me. Finding something that allows you to be at peace and calm and comfort and just to do something completely different. It was like a breath of fresh air. It was so cool. And this is a very cozy fantasy, very low stakes. Even the subtitle of the book says it's a low stakes fantasy, and it really is. It's just this easygoing tale about a former mercenary orc who decides to open a coffee shop in this really small town, in a town that has never heard of coffee. They drink tea. Tea is the common thing in this particular area. I mean, it feels kind of like a Middle Ages era, your typical medieval fantasy setting. She just happened to have encountered a coffee shop in another town that she was visiting and decided to bring her own version of it to this small town. And it's just so cool. Even though it's such a simple story, I was just so immersed in this tale of someone trying to find a simple life, and along the way she meets a ragtag group of individuals that join her in her pursuit. She meets a hob named Cal, who is a carpenter, and he helps her build the coffee shop. And she meets Tondri, who is a succubus. So, she feeds on the emotions of others and stuff. And she is the first of the hired help for the coffee shop. And then there's Thimble, who is this incredible baker. And Pendry, who is a wannabe bard that visits the coffee shop to sing his songs and entertain the audience. And along the way, you got this underlying theme of whether or not we trust in other things to make our luck, or if we make our own luck. And it's just such a neat story. And there's a cozy little romance that happens. And oh, guys, I just can't say enough good about this story. It's just so heartwarming and such a breath of fresh air. It's something different than you're probably typically used to with fantasy. It's not grimdark at all. It's hardly even dark. It's just really enchanting. And for me, that is exactly what I needed. And some of what made it good was the little things. She's opening a brand new coffee shop, and then she's learning about different things that she could add to her menu, and the menu is constantly changing. And Tawndry is an artist, so she puts together the menu and she adds little flares to it, and she adds the new things to the menu, and she words them just right. And people are just drawn to this brand new establishment that seems to have a really great tasting drink and really great pastries, and there's just a sense of family. And that's another thing that I should mention here. The trope of found family is strong with this book, but it's so well done and so heartwarming. I think I've used the word heartwarming way too many times in this video, but it just is. And I mean, this is a book. I don't drink coffee anymore. I used to love coffee. I drink tea now. But, this book almost made me want to have a cup of coffee and just a nice pastry warmed up in the oven, like a cinnamon roll or things like that. And I was just, I was so mesmerized and entranced, and any other words that I can find to describe it. It was just so good. This, so far, is my book of the year. Now that could change. But right now, I have to say that Legends and Lattes was the perfect book for me. And I'm just gonna stop right there because I could just keep gushing and gushing about this book. But if you love coffee and you love the atmosphere of a coffee shop and you like getting to know your baristas and talking with them and engaging with other customers in the coffee shops and just having a place that you can call your home away from home, and you like fantasy, this is the book for you. It's such a simple premise, but it hits so many warm places in my soul. And I just, guys, you need to read Legends and Lattes if you have not already. That's my review. Go read it. That's all I had to say. And, this, the more I think about it, this may end up being in my top 5 books of all time. I just can't stop thinking about it. Maybe I'll think about it so much that I will eventually start drinking coffee again. I mean, you never know. You never know. Could a book possibly do that? I don't know. There is a prequel coming out sometime in November, and it's called Bookshops and Bone Dust. And I'm so there for it, guys. I am there for it. I will be there for it on day one. If I can grab a copy of it on day one, I will. I just can't wait to read more from this little world, this little pocket of goodness that Travis Baldree has created. And there you go. I hope you enjoy the book. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this book and what you thought of it. And, until next time, guys, make sure you read more books. I'll talk to you soon.